What's up, everybody? It's good friend Lukie, and I'm live on location, loyal to the game, and I'm going to talk about why size matters and how that played a role in Emanuel Navarrete defeating Oscar Valdez. Let's watch the groovy intro. So Emanuel Navarrete beats Oscar Valdez, and the one big thing that I didn't really look at, because I just saw like simple things like talent and experience playing a factor, was reach. The physical attributes of Emanuel Navarrete are, he has a lot longer arms than Oscar Valdez, and Valdez has struggled with guys who have long reaches and are able to jab and move and put pressure on him. He doesn't really have a way to bridge the gap against opponents who have distance on him. And what we saw in this fight was there is a ceiling to Oscar Valdez based on dimensions. If guys have longer torsos, longer arms, there's going to be a limitation. That being said, Emanuel Navarrete probably does maybe one thing fundamentally right, but really a lot of his fundamental technique is toughness. Toughness is what brings Navarrete to the dance. It's not a fundamental jab, it's not a fundamental technique. Navarrete is just a physically tough guy who imposes his will. I keep waiting for Navarrete to run into that ceiling where his toughness doesn't get there. He's also a very frustrating guy to project. I had been on the show with War Week Radio, Joseph Heron, and he was like, he got up, he won the fight. And it's like, this is a very Estrada performance. He comes in off of two, fighting down to the level of his competition opponents, fights Valdez, and then has a great performance. Navarrete, very inconsistent. He's like the modern Juan Francisco Estrada. You can almost circle when he fights someone that's not on his level, he's going to have a hard fight. And when he fights someone that's good, he's probably going to overachieve. For Navarrete, it's wondering when are these habits and training going to catch up with him, because he's looking soft to the body. He's throwing a ton of punches, but it just feels like he's building the foundation for something to go wrong in the not so distant future. With Valdez has been through a lot of wars. We were promised a Mexican war. What we ended up getting was a guy in Navarrete who's probably fighting close to his natural weight class, fighting Oscar Valdez, who probably could still compete at featherweight if all things were equal. And it looked like a good big man beating a good little man, even though, as weird as it sounds, Navarrete had competed all the way at 122 and 126 and now at 130. Valdez somehow has only fought at 26 and 30, but it really felt like size was the difference in this fight. That Navarrete won this fight based on his willingness to punch, and his willingness to punch came from being the bigger man, being the longer man, and being willing to throw punches. Valdez really got into a habit of sharpshooting, looking to load up and land a shot that would change the course of the fight. That shot never came, and in the midst of trying to land that, his eye got really messed up. As for the rest of the card, honestly, there's not too much to talk about. It was a card built around this main event that was being thrown together and viewed as possibly like a great Mexican rivalry match. It turned out as a career-defining fight for Navarrete, but I don't think this one's going to go down to the Morales-Bereas. Those type of fights tend to just pop up on you, kind of like the measles. They don't just pop up when we prophesize them. It's a solid fight. I think that what it showed was Navarrete, fringe pound-for-pound guy in the vein of a Juan Francisco Estrada, where he's going to have absolutely terrible performances, then he's going to have good performances. Probably the most frustrating type of fighter, where you can't prophesize where he's going because his stock price is just going to go up and down like a Tesla or whatever. It's going up and down. Yeah, and for Valdez, takes more damage. Not sure there's a huge interest in the rematch. Some people had the fight close. The judges didn't have the fight close. There was good action in sparts, but it was not the back and forth Mexican war. It was a competitive bout that Navarrete kind of overtook with physical advantages and physical gifts. And I think that people were looking for a little bit more ebbs and flows. The rest of the card were kind of favorable matchups to build up young fighters. That's about it. So, you like my takes, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep it going. Okay, it's Lukie. I'm out.